Hello everyone, it is Barb Teckle. How is everybody doing in these wild, crazy times right now, right? I hope you are staying grounded, finding your center, dropping into peace, and that you're doing as well as you can. So, we just had the full moon yesterday, full moon in Leo. I find this really encouraging. I just actually finished working. I love the timing of that. I just finished working on an art piece with Lion, not realizing we were coming up on astrologically that the full moon was going to be in Leo. So I really loved that that was so intuitive that I had worked on that. So yeah, the Leo archetype, even though the full moon was yesterday, we're still in the energies of it. So I just wanted to share a little bit about what those energies are because the full moon is always about releasing, and opening to new opportunities as we release those things that no longer are a fit for us. So Leo archetype is a passionate zest for living. So maybe you're feeling that in some way of how do you want to step into a new passion? Maybe you want to expand on a existing passion. Maybe you just want to enjoy life more. That doesn't really mean doing anything. It's just appreciating and being grateful for life. It's also a very fiery, confident, creative. Leo archetype is also all about not afraid to stand in the spotlight. Those shadow aspects of that can be overbearing, drama, and arrogance. So just something to look at in your life where that may play out. Or, yeah, I'm just really picking up on passionate zest for living. I think so many of us are just, in one aspect, very tired of what's going on in the world. And I know for myself, maybe I'm just speaking for myself, like I just want to live as a peaceful existence as I can, enjoy the simple pleasures, just be grateful for what I have. So maybe something of that is speaking for you too. And if you're into astrology, I am. I really love looking at each month where the moon is in my astrological chart. So that might be an extra hint for you to look at for this week as well of an area you need to focus on. So since we are in big cat energy, I thought I would pull a card for our theme for the week from the Cosmic Cat Wisdom cards. This deck, and I also have the Divine Dog Wisdom cards, those two decks I actually use in readings when I do readings for animals and to get messages from animals for their person to help them. So these are really fun decks. I really enjoy these. So yeah, since we've got cat energy right now, I thought it would be great to pull a card from here as our theme for the week. Being in this Leo energy of passionate zest for living, fiery, confident, creative. Wow, that's really, I love those words together. Fiery, confident, creative. Maybe there's something you've been wanting to do, but you're afraid to put yourself out there because, it's also about not being afraid to stand in the spotlight. Just think about Lion. I mean, their presence is just immense, isn't it? All right, so what is this theme for this week? Here we go. Oh, this is perfect with what I just said. Perfect with unafraid to stand in the spotlight. So we've got the word reflection on here. We've got the cat in the box. We know how cats love being in boxes, don't they? And it says, get out of your box. So yeah, this is perfect for Leo energy right now. And the theme for the week is start to think about how can I start to take steps, even though I'm afraid and I have fear here. How can I just start to take some small steps to get out of that comfortable, look how comfortable that cat is. I've had cats in my life, and it always cracked me up how they could find the smallest container and somehow wiggle themselves in there. But really, the theme for the week is, maybe the reflection part is working with that fear, how you can let go of that fear, how do we let go of fear? We feel the fear and do it anyways, right? So just reflect on how fear maybe has held you back, and how you can start to take steps of getting out of your comfort zone and getting out of that box where you feel so comfy and cozy. And we've just moved out of January into February, and I feel a shift in the energy. It's a good shift. I feel a hopeful shift. And it's starting to warm up here in Wisconsin. Yay. So yeah, get out of that cozy box and start to take some steps towards what it is you want to bring more into your life. What area of passion do you want to expand on or step into something new? What a great message for the week. Yeah, enjoy. So just be curious about that. Think about cats. Cats are so curious, right? I'm just getting that now too. So just be curious about what is that going to feel like and look like when I take that first little step, even though I have some fear and I'm scared. But I'm going to take that step anyways. And cats, they don't care what you think. they just they just do what they want to do, when you think about that, right? And if you have cats, I'm sure you're really relating to this message. All right, so I'm going to pull an animal guide, even though we have cat as our first animal guide, and we've got Leo, the lion, and courage as a theme for the week too, to help us and support us. So what animal guide is going to go along with this message of reflection? You know what? I'm just feeling called, like I want to pull the guidebook here. Just want to see if there's anything else for us to consider. I just think, having done my own deck, I know the amount of energy that goes into writing the guidebook. And, I don't like to bypass that sometimes with the guidebooks that others write, because I know what goes into it. So much heart and so much insight and wisdom goes into it. So it does say, I like this, pause, P-A-W-S, to think. So it says, if you pounced on this card, you might need to give yourself time to sit back and be open to connecting the dots, getting a new perspective or vision. You may be headlong into a commitment, project, or activity that has you breathless. It's time to stop and reflect. Put a temporary hold on whatever it is that prevents you from spending time merely gazing into space. So that's interesting, and with what I just said about looking at, maybe where we want to expand on passion. And though I did say not being fearful about taking a step forward, I do love the fact that it says spending time merely gazing into space. Because sometimes we think we have to come up with an answer, and we think we have to know what our next step is. But really, when we just allow ourselves that time to just be, and like this says, to gaze into space, that's when the most intuitive, insightful wisdom nuggets come, is during that time when we're not trying to force something, when we're just allowing it to come forward. Let's see what else here. It's a pretty long message, so I'm just going to sort of glance at this and see if there's anything else. Yeah, I'm not really seeing anything else, but it does say here, so lay back and take some time today just to reflect. So I'm picking up now, and we've got reflection and get out of your box. So yeah, in order to get out of your box, we do have to spend time in reflection, right? And again, what is it? Look at those questions of what is holding us back, and really be with that and allow that wisdom to bubble to the surface. And then dip your toe outside of that box and just see how that feels. Yeah, I'm glad I looked at that, because it gave it another perspective. All right, so Animal Wisdom from my deck, Animal Reflections Healing Oracle, to go with the message from Cat and Reflection. Okay. We have nuthatch hen perspective. Yeah. So it's time to just take some time this week. Open up to what perspectives you may not be seeing in order to step into that new space, that new passion you want to move into or to expand on. This is also in my deck. I include the 21 major arcana, and the nuthatch in perspective is, and I always have to grab my little guide here because I don't remember all of them. So nuthatch, when I created this, represents the hanged man in the tarot. And number 12 of the major arcana, which is being in limbo, adjustment, changing priorities, paradox, looking at life from a different angle, taking one step back to move on, and making a sacrifice. So I like that, taking one step back. So really, again, the reflection, just taking some time this week to just step back and look at it at a higher perspective, whatever that area of life is for you. Looking at it from a higher perspective in order to gain some wisdom that is stuck, and just allow it to bubble to the surface. I just did a reading for myself yesterday, and it was so potent and powerful because I took the time to reflect, and it was something I had a lot of fear about. And even though it was painful, I felt so much better afterwards because I reflected on that and I understand where it comes from. And sometimes it's what holds me back. I definitely realize that it's sometimes what holds me back. So yeah, nuthatch in perspective. Maybe hang upside down like the nuthatch does, and allow that wisdom to bubble up, and come out the top of your crown in order to move forward. All right, everybody, have a great week, and I'll see you again next week. All right, take good, gentle care. Bye-bye.